Fucking hell, Netflix executives ain't even fucking trying anymore with this Christmas slop. My Secret Santa, not to be confused with My Secret Santa, which is another movie that no decent person should ever Google, and if you do, always delete your search history. This could also be known as Christmas Doubtfire, according to Keek SCJ on Letterboxd. I saw that review and had to lift that for this particular video, and I want to give credit to them because that's really goddamn creative. It's also very much on the nose, except Mrs. Doubtfire, even at its laziest, would still have been infinitely better than My Secret Santa. Yes, this is a Netflix original where Alexandra Breckenridge, the maid from American Horror Story Murder House, yes, she's been in other stuff such as Virgin River, but I will always remember her as the exceedingly uber attractive maid from AHS Murder House. I mean, she looked tremendous. Absolutely fucking tremendous. She looks tremendous still, don't get me wrong. I just wanted to say that. Red, blonde, doesn't matter what hair color she has, Alexandra can pull that off. She plays Taylor, who has a daughter, is trying to do her best as a single mother when she is fired from her job as a cookie maker or head of a cookie company, whatever it is. They don't really go into it because it's within the first few minutes. And she's having some issues paying her rent on time. Dorley, played by Diana Maria Riva, who is in Sabrina the Teenage Witch, What Women Want, is actually a very good actress. I wish she was featured in more than just a lot of television. She's like, oh, the rent's always late. Don't worry, I'll have it for you by the end of the week. Taylor must find a way to basically get money fast. She needs cash now. Just call, this ski resort, 877 cash now. No, we're not going to go to that. She's trying to sell off some stuff just to make a quick buck. Ends up at a record store where a man named Matthew, played by Ryan Eggold, I wanted to call him the Egg Lord. That would have been Vince McMahon of Survivor Series 2021. You're welcome. Just going to let that image marinate right there. Egg. So anyway, Matthew falls for her. I mean, look at her. How could you not? And it turns out she actually was a member of this band from the town called the Screaming Kittens, which had to be given up because she needed to raise her daughter. That's revealed a little bit later on. Some of this is possibly spoiling some stuff. I don't really care because none of it really matters if I spoil any of it because it's a basic story. We then see that Matthew can't quite get Taylor because Taylor just isn't ready to date for whatever reason. She's been so focused on raising her daughter. Zoe, played by Madison Malksack, Stop Laughing. This is serious. She's from Nobody 2, and that's most recent, but she's also been in a few projects recently. She wants to go to a posh ski resort and do snowboarding. We know this because she talks about it. We also see a little bit of her snowboarding. I mean, to be fair, if you can't really do it, kind of like John Laurinaitis and Dynamic Dudes don't really show them doing a whole bunch of stuff. That's a deep cut for wrestling fans. And she must come up with this tuition money. Taylor, that is, not Zoe, even though there are entrepreneurial teenagers / early 20-somethings going on these days to make thousands and thousands of dollars in social media. Curse you kids and your status as far as earning money. That being said, Taylor has a bright idea of going to the resort because resort employees get a 50% discount. And she doesn't get a chance to really get a job because there are no openings. It's around Christmas. Oh, there's a chance to be a Secret Santa, but she's not an old guy. But fortunately, her brother and his boyfriend, at least I assume, could just be a live-in roommate for all I fucking know. They can't loan her the money, but they have a facility where they can create a Santa mask and all this stuff and everything. And they have that money, but they don't have the money to just loan her the stuff for the tuition. Granted, we wouldn't have a movie, but still, it's questions. It's fine. It's all right. We see this created, and now she has this persona where she can become a Secret Santa. But, it turns out Matthew is also the son of the owner of this ski resort. Oh, yes, and Tia Mowry is in this, yes, of the Sister fame, who plays Natasha, the one to become the GM, but because the dad is tired of Matthew being a screw-up, such as getting in wrecks in Italy, there's your movie, folks. We, granted, if I saw a bunch of Italian women, I'd probably wreck too. Wrecked them, damn near killed them. he basically says, you're going to be the GM. But then Natasha is basically sabotaging him all the way. And there's your movie. By the way, all of this is pretty much revealed or set in motion within the first 20 minutes. That's pretty much the first 20 minutes of the goddamn movie. From there, we have a basic rom-com that is not very funny. It's better than A Merry Little Xmas, but it's still not great. That's probably down to the fact that Alexandra is just that charming that I can really get into watching her. That sounded a lot more pervy and dark than I intended. And yeah, it is a Howard Brunstein Films Productions. Whatever. I don't know who the fuck that is, and I don't care. This was directed by Mike Roll, who did the Princess Switch movies. There were 3 of those. At least 3 that I saw. There were 3 of those. And there were 2 people that wrote this. Carly Smale, or Small, or Smollier. Maybe she's a sommelier, like Reggie was, in NXT for whatever reason. And Ron Oliver, who's written a lot of movies, including Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2. Bet you didn't expect that, because I certainly fucking didn't when I took notes for this. And, yeah, that's your rom-com. That's your premise right there. There's going to be some spoilers here in a second, but this movie is kind of dumb as hell and also basic and has a lot of stuff shoved in the beginning, shoved in the end, which makes it sound like a human centipede situation or like a DP situation that an ex of mine got involved in at a hotel that I'm not going to talk about anymore because I don't really think I can give those details out. Let's just say that led to a breakup. Nevertheless, it's basic at times, but honestly, it's just really boring and bland and generic and ends up working out for the best. It just ends up being just sort of there. So My Secret Santa doesn't really get a recommendation, but watch it if you want. It's on Netflix. 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. So, yeah, fired around Christmas, gotta pay the rent. Diana still looks good, I'll say that much. The Screaming Kittens, by the way, the fact that they're supposed to be punk rock and how she sings at the end is kind of funny. And when Matthew shows up, she's like, whoa, I didn't realize anybody had heard of this, and realized, oh shit, that's you. The record guy ends up giving her 150, except for that record. And Matthew even says at one point, like, oh, hi, strange man in a record store, because she says, I guess I talk to strange men in record stores. And there are the 2 gay characters, the brother and the boyfriend, husband, whatever. I mean, I just find it funny these are just slide in and nothing's really done with them. They're just window dressing, like the dads in Merry Little Xmas. Sun Peak Ski Resorts. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I don't know where this is filmed. Colorado, I don't really care. There aren't a lot of places that have a lot of ski resorts that they probably could shoot at. I would say they shot this in Washington, but it wasn't that bleak and depressing. Having lived in Washington and still living there, I can say that. So Natasha wants promotion and tries sabotaging Matthew at every step of the way. The costume's kind of funny, and also she doesn't really fool anybody. I mean, the eyes kind of tell the whole story. Natasha... Tia is just not given much to do as Natasha. Also, there's these bully girls. One that looks strikingly like she could be the daughter of Natasha. She is. And the costume is a success. But at first, things aren't going all that well. Because, basically, she is being more of a mother than being Santa and everything. And not connecting with the kids all that well. And kind of is like, oh, well, what kind of gift do you want? Well, maybe they can't afford that, this kind of stuff. But the kids want to believe. They want to believe this stuff. And even if, that's the one thing I always appreciated about my parents, is whenever they gave me gifts, they did the best they could. I mean, really, they did the best they could. I got shit a number of years, even into my later teens, I didn't fucking deserve. And grateful. Grateful for that. That's why I try to get back. That's why I try to donate when I can, donate to charities and help people out when I can, give back, because that's the whole spirit of Christmas. So, at one point, appearing in the Santa outfit, Dorley sees her as him, and thinks that, well, he's kind of cute. She's just hitting on anything that moves, because everybody's lonely in this movie. I hate how stock and basic this is what I wrote down. So, You got a bop between doing the Santa thing and taking care of Zoe. And yeah, Santa's not really that much of a success until Santa starts listening to the children more and being more of the motherly type, being more of the, hey, don't be afraid of the dark, don't worry about that. Not the Nickelodeon movie. But I did this. We're gonna take care of this. So you don't have to let your fear dictate you how you go. Fear sucks, but we can't let it dominate our lives. Life is fleeting, kids. Remember that. By the way, there is one point where the beard catches on fire because they're drinking some flaming candy canes. I saw that in a movie once, and I won't talk about what else. So there was this one kind of sweet moment where this girl that has a stutter, and they got her to sing Jingle Bells, and that worked, and it was a hit on social media. Whatever social media it is, even though the format they used literally looked like a website that was designed about 10 years ago. Business is booming. But Zoe basically wants her mom to get a boyfriend and not focus just on being her mother. She loves her mother, but she wants her mother to be happy. And I want Alexandra Breckenridge to be happy. I mean, why would you not want somebody to be happy like that? But we get a heart-to-heart thing going on with the two, Taylor and Matthew. Matthew talks about losing his mom. That's why it's a tough relationship with the dad. She can't get up on stage and do the singing because she gave up on that dream. Don't worry, she gets back up on the stage at some point. Natasha then finds out that it's her playing the Santa and reveals it a little bit later on after an extended scene that really went about twice as long as it needed to. So, now, we hear from the girl Ava, who's the daughter of Natasha, talking about dad's in London, mother lets her do whatever she wants, but basically talking to her as Santa, but also as a mother, kind of gets her to realize that, lashing out isn't all that good and that she really isn't a bully. She's just somebody that is upset about certain things in her life. And now you got to be in two places at once, like Mrs. Doubtfire, just without the choking. And I don't mean the choking. I'd like Alexandra did. I'm done. I'm done with that. Done with that. Sorry. The daughter gets hurt during a ski accident after it's revealed that, or a snowboarding accident after it's revealed that Taylor is Hugh Man. Yes, that is the name that she came up with. And that's one way to get out of a plot point. So, Ava ended up seeing this happen, ended up calling 911. Natasha's like, good job. Matthew, he takes the fall for Natasha's mistakes because it actually wasn't her fault. He's the one that hired her. So now he's gone from the company. And now Taylor basically has to make amends, but not amends with the landlady. Don't worry. It seems like the ones that don't want to hurt people always end up hurting, but it is what it is. And they confess their feelings to each other. They being Matthew and Taylor, not Dorley and Taylor, which actually I didn't think I'd want to see until I mentioned it, but I digress. They confess their feelings on stage while there's a microphone right in the middle of them, so you'd think they just want to do that to broadcast it to everybody. And then I believe the boyfriend, I think it's the boyfriend, could be the brother, don't really care at this point, says, don't leave her. So they end up getting together. She does one of the songs in a very country voice. Not that I expected Alexandra to necessarily do punk rock, but maybe don't call it punk rock if you're going to do that. And Christmas is fine. Owen Dorley and the dad end up hooking up, and everything is good. That is it. And Zoe seemingly is fine, despite her broken clavicle and arm, or whatever it is. That is My Secret Santa, a movie that I probably will not remember once I'm done cutting this review. So yeah, that is it. It is an F. It's not very good. It's very basic. I liked Alexandra, and it was endearing enough, but it was also just so basic that it's on the lower tier. Above Merry Little Xmas, but not saying much. So agree, disagree what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Wetland. Until we see the spirit of Christmas again, hopefully in a better place, happy trails to you.